Hello and welcome to On My Mind, the podcast featuring yours truly, Michael Martinez. I just want to start this episode by saying that I'm not in the studio where I normally record, um, because we ran into some technical difficulties and essentially I got moved to another studio. So this studio isn't necessarily for, well, I mean, I guess it is for recording, but it's not for like up close and intimate, like podcasting. You know what I mean? Or this is a good room for many guests because this microphone is surprisingly good at capturing wide audio. Like check this out. I'm gonna take off my headphones so you might hear some echo because that's what I hear. And I don't know if the microphone's gonna pick that up, but uh, anyway. So tell me, can you guys hear? Whoa, I ran into a chair. Can you guys hear me if I'm all the way over here? I can't hear myself, but okay. Well, what if I scooch on over here and I get closer to the microphone and then I kind of go back the other way? Let me see if I can hear. Hello, can you guys hear me? Oh, you guys can hear me, but it's not that like. Oh god, this chair is so squeaky. Um, yeah. The point is, I'm in a new studio, so it's a bit weird for me. It's probably gonna be a bit weird for you, as a listener. Um, I try to reduce like the amount of background noise, but this room isn't soundproofed. Um, and I don't know. It's still pretty good quality. It's just not the highest that I can provide at the moment. Um, so my apologies, but we got to record an episode because this episode goes up in less than, no, actually in a little bit over than 24 hours. It is 2:26 p.m. on Friday, October 8th. Yeah, today's the 8th. Um, all right. Well, that was a weird intro. Uh, Screw it. We're rolling with it. So last week we had a close friend on the show that I've made here at Bodin, and we tested the depth of our friendship by going through what our followers on Instagram said best friends needed to know about each other. And spoiler alert, we didn't really know much about each other, but it was a fun episode regardless. And we had some great chatters, and that's kind of what we're all about here on the show. So anyway, you can find that episode on whichever platform you're using to listen to this one if you haven't checked out the other one already. We also have episode one up on there as well. And then if you want to see some really vintage on my mind the podcast, you can go on Spotify, and I have the exclusive, or they're not exclusive to Spotify, but they're not on YouTube, which is my main platform. But anyway, you can find the pre the preliminary episodes, which is the episodes I recorded when I first started this podcast, and it was only meant for like six people at the time. Um, and it was like through Google Drive, and I uploaded my audio recordings on there. But now I'm using actual recording software and microphones, so we've come a long way. Than just me using my phone. Yeah, but the problem is though, it's like I'm gonna have to get this set up. Oh wait, this has double. So in this new studio, I have double monitors, which is actually crazy. Actually, hold on. Let me take a picture for you guys. For those of you guys on YouTube, you guys will be able to see this. But boom. All right. So I took a nice photo. Yeah, that's basically what I see when I record episodes. Oh wait, marker. Um, oh, it's not on the wrong. If I click, okay, marker. There you go. So here you can see if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, um, I put a picture up on the screen, but I mean, you wouldn't be able to see that. So anyway, um, let's go to my OneDrive and cause I can have the podcast outline on one screen, and then I can have the audio software on the other. That's actually so useful. I've never had double monitors, so this is quite interesting. Um, but yeah, just gotta sign in. Um, oh gosh. Okay. I have to do the whole sign in. So Bowden has this thing called Duo, which is like extra security. It uses two-factor authentication, which is, secure, but it's kind of inconvenient when you're in the middle of a podcast episode. And then again, that's on me, I guess. Um, let's not save the password right now, for security reasons. I'm on Do Not Disturb, so it's not gonna. There it is. All right, we're signing in. Let's go. Stay signed in. Sure. Okay. And wait. Oh, here we are. Podcast. Whoops. Wrong button. Podcast master document. All right. Okay. So your 6 minute. Wait. There's like nothing on this. Oh, there you go. It's loading. um. Okay. Let me just. Um. Oh, this is so weird. Okay. Let me go down to episode 3. There we are. Oh, that is so nice. I'm sorry, but like, I'm excited because I have so much technology at my disposal, and I'm very much not used to having so much technology at my disposal. So, kind of geeking out right now. How do I zoom in? Uh, Control Command Plus. Macs are so weird, bro. Whoa. Like the scroll on the mouse makes no sense. It is so fast for no reason. Um, okay, wait, hold on. Now I want to show you. Actually, no, whatever. Okay, setup aside. Where did I leave off? Anyway, you can find that episode on whichever platform you're using. Yeah, okay. So this week, as you can probably tell, I don't have a guest, so it's just going to be your buddy Michael. And as you probably learned from the title, Academic Burnout is the topic of today's episode. I may not be able to give professional advice, but I can provide a student's perspective who acknowledges that it exists and knows many others who are dealing it dealing with it right now, or will eventually be. Um, as I feel like that maybe applies to all of us if we haven't already hit it. Um, yeah, but honestly though, like if you came to the show looking for professional advice, that's kind of on you. I just do this show for fun. But yeah, so I've gone through burnout myself and it hit me really hard during my senior year, but I pushed through it. So I figured I have some experience and, some input that I can tell you guys. So yeah, and if you've been listening to the show, you'll start to realize that I'm a huge fan of copy and paste. So if you are new to On My Mind, why not subscribe to the show? Here on the podcast, you can expect rambling, awkward silences, and a good time. We plan to upload new episodes every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And to see cool bonus content, you can also follow us on Instagram at OMM the Podcast. So be sure to check out the links in the description for those of you listening on YouTube. And with that being said, I don't really have much else to explain. To be honest, I'm not even sure if we're ready for this. So, from academic burnout to the usual chatter, I present to you On My Mind. Um, yeah, so what inspired me to do burnout? Like I said, I feel like it's a pretty relevant topic right now. Um, here at Bowdoin, and I guess at some other schools, we've entered a break. We call it fall break here, and it's essentially just an extended weekend. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty nice. It's in the middle of like October. Well, it's actually like the first week or so after. Um, but yeah, so yeah, fall break, and we had a bunch of exams and essays and all that shenanigans due, and so it was pretty intense. And I just kind of wanted to like talk about it because that's what's on my mind. All right. Yeah. Actually, no, there are a couple of things that I want to kind of talk about in the chatter segment before we go into burnout. Um, some new things. For Spotify listeners, if you check on the episode descriptions, you can actually see a Q&A option. And if you go back to episode 2, and I'll probably put something up for episode 3, I put a question and I was just like, can you see this? And yeah, so essentially, if you open up Spotify and you click on my show, on my Mind the Podcast, hopefully you're following it so you have easy access in your library. Um, right, so you'll see all episodes. And if you click on V2 episode 2, um, you can see like the description of the episode, the length of it, and you have my picture of my logo. But you can see there's a Q&A, and it says, can you guys see this? Might find a way to use it. There's one reply because I replied to myself naturally. Um, yeah, so you guys can see what I said. It's honestly not worth your time, but if you want curious to check out the Q&A feature, I will be using that to introduce what I used to call the question of the week. Um, and of course, I'll ask the question of the week when we get to the topic because it does have to relate to that. But yeah, so that's for Spotify. I don't think it's for any other platforms. I think it's an exclusive kind of thing. I can also do polls. So that'll be fun to play around with, and yeah. So it's kind of like I'm sorry, cause like you have to go so out of your way to get the full on my mind experience. For example, if you follow us on Instagram, I sometimes post interactive content on there that all the audience can what's it called? I don't know. I just kind of like participate in how the show is planned and stuff like that. I mean, I come up with all the ideas, sure, but I like to get advice or suggestions from you guys, just because it's just fun to do, and you guys are always so fun with your responses. Um, yeah, so that can be a problem because I know some or not everyone has Instagram and stuff like that, so they can't, actively participate in those things, which is kind of unfair. Um, but it's just the easiest and most convenient way for really direct audience interaction. So now, if you're on Spotify, you have this exclusive Q&A feature. And so if you don't use Spotify regularly, like if you're using Apple Podcast or if you're listening on YouTube, um, like it's just you don't get that feature either. Um, and then with YouTube, YouTube is just like everything because I can still put a comment under my videos which has the question of the week, so it's kind of like the Q&A thing. So I guess it's not really a Spotify exclusive, but yeah, so it's like YouTube, you get the description and you get the links to all of my forms and any links that I might include in the episodes and just like I don't know, you get a mother load of information. And you don't get that with any of the other platforms just because of how limited the descriptions are. Like I can't include links to for you to click on, like I can do with YouTube. Um, so yeah, so YouTube is kind of like my main platform. Then you have like Spotify, and then maybe like the rest, just like kind of fall under another category. But if you're listening to the show, I appreciate you regardless on whatever platform you're listening to. The whole reason why I have them on all these platforms is just out of the convenience for the listeners and just to kind of get a wider audience. Um, so yeah, thank you guys for listening to this show and for listening to this quite chaotic episode. We haven't really talked about anything in like 15 minutes. So yeah, if you're at this part of the episode, thank you for sticking around. But anyway, fall break. Fall break is gonna be interesting. Um, I was originally gonna have guests on this episode, but then fall break happened, so I couldn't. People were traveling, and I was just like, I couldn't find time during the week to record, and it's Friday, and yeah, so here we are. So I was just like, hey, why not just do a solo episode? So that's why I'm here. Um, Yeah, and as for my plans for fall break, see, I'm from California, so I can go home, but for 4 days, it's honestly not that ideal. If I'm gonna go back home, I'd want to go for at least a week or two. Um, yeah, and I don't plan to go back home to Cali until like the winter break in December. Um, so that's the plan for now. But at fall break, I'm gonna be staying on campus for the most part. I do plan on going out of state, but I've yet to confirm those plans. So if I do, I can talk about it next week. And I'll let you guys know how that went. I'll keep it vague for now, just because I'm not even sure if I'm gonna go. But otherwise, I'm pretty much just gonna be here chilling in my dorm. Maybe hang out with some friends who are also here. And yeah, I mean it's a break, so I kind of want to take advantage of that. But of course we have work to do. Here we are, the show, man, calling the show work. I mean, all I do is I talk for an hour, and I don't even get paid. So is it really work? Um, nah, it's a hobby. Yeah, although sometimes it does feel like work, cause it's just like the editing is. I put in so much work, but it is so much fun to do, in my opinion. If you guys are ever interested in starting a podcast or just making a one-off episode and trying it out, I highly recommend it. Um, for those of you who just like talking, and even if you don't like talking, I think it's just fun to do. Grab a buddy and kind of just have a conversation with them. Make an outline. Definitely make an outline because that really helps. Um, and you want to be talking about things that are interesting, relevant to you, and stuff that you can actually provide input on. I've had episodes in the past where it's like I have no idea what was going on, but it was good for my guest because they were so knowledgeable about it that it basically became like their podcast and I was the guest because I was the one asking questions and stuff. Um, but yeah, but when it comes to things like academic burnout, I actually have somewhat of experience in that field, so I feel like I can help out just a little bit. And then also, it's just like your usual hour of the week where you can kind of relax, maybe do some homework, maybe do some chores, and just listen to the show. Um, yeah, which I want to ask. This is my question of the week for you. I'm gonna put a guide. I keep okay. Gonna put a marker here. Uh, what is your go-to activity, whatever it may be, for when you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed out? For me personally, I resort to music. I love listening to music and I love playing music, but there's just something about laying down on your bed, just completely forgetting about everything and listening to your favorite Spotify playlist or Apple Music. I feel like I'm gonna get roasted in the comments now. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Okay, I use Spotify. Oh wow, I've had it for 4 years. I didn't get my iPhone until a couple months ago. I got it in June. That was I'm so hungry. Can you guys hear my stomach growling? I hope not. That's so embarrassing. Yeah. Uh. Anywho. Um. Yeah. So I just love listening to music, preferably rock. I love rock music. I've been getting more into like R&B slash pop lately. Um. Mostly pop though. And yeah, I don't know. I'm one of those people who can kind of listen to just about anything. Um. Yes, even country. And yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty much okay with it. Now, I'm not gonna like go out of my way and add the songs to my playlist unless I feel that they're really good. But for the most part, I'm pretty comfortable with any genre of music. Um, or so I say for now, and then I come across a genre, I'm just like, yeah, this isn't for me. But I haven't come across that yet, so here we are. Yeah, another thing I like to do is podcast. Yeah. So this kind of like being able to express yourself and just talk about nothing in particular, which is what we call the chatter segment. It's what you're listening to right now. Um, it's just there's something about it. I think it's especially better when you have guests. And you're just talking to friends, and you're just kind of going through things and just talking about whatever's on your mind, and you're just like, yeah, this is fun. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Uh, I've been doing the show for a while now, so now it just comes pretty naturally to me. And don't get me to talk about myself if we're ever like having a conversation in person, because I would genuinely not shut up, and that's my reason for being here. I've been more conscious and more considerate for other people. Because I don't like giving really dry responses for conversations. Unless like I really need to get out of there and I'm just like, yeah. Um, Pro tip: I was gonna follow up with something, but it like left my mind. You ever had those moments? I feel like everyone has those moments where it's like you start something and then it just like leaves and it's not there and you're just like, what was I gonna say? And then you have an awkward silence. Um, yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, overall though, I haven't really felt overwhelmed with school. Which, if you guys listen to the first episode of this volume 2 revival, um, you would have learned about all the things I'm involved in and all the things I do, and you'd be like, Michael, what are you doing to yourself? You're gonna overwork yourself. You might be right, but I'm doing okay. um, yeah. So just a quick rundown. Aside from taking 4 rigorous classes with a bunch of reading, so much reading. I'm also in the ultimate frisbee team here at school. So I've been going to practices, and then we have tournaments upcoming. So I'll be able to talk about those and my experiences there on the podcast. Um, and yeah, I mean those practices are like 2 hours long, so it's a pretty heavy time commitment. Um, and then I'm also in the concert band. Speaking of 2 hour commitments, um, so of course, I had to go to rehearsal. I had to practice playing music, and we have a concert coming up October 24th or 25, 6, one of those 20s. I have a concert. I really should know that. I'll make sure to write it in my agenda. Well, by the way, the only reason I'm able to really keep up with everything is because you have to write and definitely utilize the crap out of your agenda. If you don't have a planner, whether it be physical or digital, personally, I love using a physical one just because that satisfaction of crossing something out when you're done. But anyway, if you have a digital one, I know there's a lot of good ones out there that people use, but use it, really. Like, keep tabs for like school things, keep tabs for life things, keep track of everything going on in your life because organization and time management is a huge skill, or huge skills to have. Definitely something you could put on your resume. Totally not something I put on mine. Anyway, um, yeah. So concert band. I'm also I have a job with band. I'm a student assistant, so sometimes I'll help kind of take down or take back some instruments and stuff back to the room, to the closets and stuff where we store things. After rehearsals, so I have to kind of stay like an extra 15 minutes or so. And then the big main task that I've gotten so far is just to organize a huge pile of music. So 2 years ago, 2019, that's when like the pandemic hit, right? And we all kind of went into. No, wait, was that not 2020? Wait. Okay, I'm confusing myself. The 2019 to 2020 school year. There you go. A lot of the musicians here at Bowdoin got music, but after spring break, they went into quarantine, and so a lot of them were sent back home, and they took their music folders with them, and we still haven't gotten all of them back. So usually you turn in everything at the end of the semester or something like that. Um, I don't know. I'm only a freshman, first year, you know, first semester. I mean, so it's like I don't know anything. But from what my band director told me, he wasn't able to collect all the music because everyone was all over the place. So he's still trying to find folders and stuff like that. So it's my job to kind of organize the music and figure out what we're missing and kind of report back to him. And I've been doing that for a couple weeks now. It is a lot of music, but I want to get that done this weekend. That way I can kind of relax. Um, for the rest of this month when we turn in our music at the end of November again. And then I had to do the whole thing all over. Uh, yeah. So what else? Oh yeah, of course. I do this podcast, and I said this was gonna be quick, so I'll try to speed things along here. Um, I do this podcast, and of course, I spend an hour just recording. Then I probably spend another hour editing, fine tuning stuff, creating thumbnails, just stuff like that. I probably spend quite a good bit of time planning episodes as well. I really am a huge write, revise, edit, and then fine tune and polish when it comes to the scripts because I want them to sound natural, but I also want them to be organized and to the point. Um, yeah, I mean, this episode was kind of crazy in terms of intro length, but we don't talk about that. Um, yeah, so there's that. It is so weird being alone. And let me just tell you, like, it's this show's caught on my mind, and this has been just nagging at me for the past 27 minutes. I I mean, I used to do these all the time, but the difference was is that I had a co-host back then, and so it was always just us. So either way, if I was doing a quote unquote solo episode where we didn't have any guests, like I always had someone to talk to, and now I'm kind of just like alone. Um, and I mean that kind of sounds sad, but it's not. Like, it's just weird because I'm totally relying on myself to continue talking for an hour. Um, yeah, but I can do it. I've done it before. I can do it again. And whoops, I hit the table. Yeah, that was the knocking sound. But yeah, but then I sometimes get sidetracked and distracted, and then I forget what I was talking about, and that is one of the most annoying things about doing a show alone, is that you don't have someone to kind of hold you, like, oh yeah, that was the last thing you said. Um, but we work with it. Yeah. So my point being, what was I just saying? um, I can actually pause it, the recording, go back and listen, and then do that. But would that be any fun? I don't know. Yeah, I know. I have no idea. I think I was talking about the podcast, and like that's one of the things I do. Um, and I was like talking about how much time it takes and stuff like that. Yeah, no, it takes a while. Then you also gotta publish and make sure everything is promoted, and kind of spread the word a little bit. I made these posters for the show that I've yet to put up, uh, just because I've been lazy and also kind of scared, honestly, that it would attract viewers. And I mean, not that I don't want to grow, but also it's just like I like having the show just kind of geared towards like audience that it just revolve around my friends, if that makes sense. It's safe, right? Um, yeah. But I mean, if this show could grow and we can hit 100 subscribers by like whenever, I don't really care. If we could just hit 100, we're at like 55. I, I, I don't know. I think it was 55 the last time I checked. Um, but but yeah, like if we could hit 100 subscribers, I get to customize my YouTube link so I can make it youtube.com/on my mind. or On My Mind the podcast, or OMM the podcast. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I guess I have a lot of time because we are not hitting 100 anytime soon. Um, yeah, no, I gotta make friends first. And even then, like I exposed Mario, I was like, he's not subscribed to my show. And Mario was the guest on the last episode, of course. If you didn't listen to it, um, right. And of course, these episodes are kind of one-offs. Like no episode is a direct sequel from another. The only thing you might miss out on is references from past episodes, like inside jokes or stuff like that. Or it's just like callbacks, and you might be a little bit lost. And a lot of the times, I won't explain them like I did just now. So yeah, it's like I'm just going to assume if you're listening to this episode, you have seen the rest. But also, if you haven't seen the rest of the episodes, it's still okay to listen to this one. You won't be lost, trust me. Um, trust the process, bro. I don't know where that came from. It's just, yeah. Anyway, aside from the podcast and band and frisbee, I'm also working in the dining hall. Mostly I've been putting like the dish room, so wash dishes and kind of put them through a huge machine. It's pretty low key, and you kind of just get to walk around. It's like a late night shift. It goes from 10 to 2 in the morning. Yeah, 10 p.m. I know, but it's like I work Friday nights, so my Friday nights are gone. But I don't regret it because I mean, I stay safe. Uh, from what I'll leave that up to your mind to decide. But yeah, so I get to kind of like walk around the floor a little bit, like the serving area, and just kind of meet some people or friends. I mean, I'm not really meeting any new people. I have a couple times, but they were out of it, and I was like, okay, moving on. Yeah. Um, it's fun though. I like the shift, and um, I actually work with Mario. Yeah, he's been coming up a lot on this episode. Yeah, so it's always nice to have someone working with them, because it's just more fun. Yeah. Um, and then I also what else do we do? That's honestly all I do. It seems like a lot, and it is. So rapidly, I'm doing a club sport, I'm doing two jobs, I'm doing the concert band, and I'm doing the podcast, all within like the span of a week. And then throughout the week, I kind of have like meetings as a part of being a scholar of the Jeffrey Canada. Um, that came out so weird. Jeffrey Canada Scholars. I'm part of that thing. Look it up. It'll probably come if you search up Bowdoin GCS. You can learn about it if you'd like. Um, and Bowdoin is spelled Bowdoin. I I wouldn't be able to tell that's how you pronounced it based off the spelling. I actually said it wrong so many times before I was properly informed of how it is pronounced. Before I was informed of how it is properly pronounced. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, okay. So that's essentially all I'm doing, and essentially my what I was trying to segue to is like the fact that I'm so involved in all these things that it makes it really hard sometimes to kind of keep track of everything. And I feel like a lot of the times you can easily like if you forget one little thing, like it can easily slip by you. So that's why I emphasize the importance of keeping yourself organized. And yeah, so here we are, slowly, gradually, smoothly transitioning to um, academic burnout. Right. So there's three sections to this segment that I wanted to do. Why isn't this hello? I don't know how to use Microsoft Word. Do I have to copy and paste? Command click. Oh, you do command click. Ah, that's so cool. I didn't know that. Whoops. All right. So I have a couple of what do you call it? Articles that I found online. And so this is a segment that I like to call According to the Internet, where according to the internet, what is burnout? And how do you deal with it and like recover from it? And what are some ways to avoid it? So those are the three sections I'll kind of briefly go over. Um, yeah, so I have three articles. All of these you can find in the description if you're listening on YouTube, of course. Um, yeah, okay. So let me just kind of scroll through here and organize myself. Okay, so according to the University of the People, what is academic burnout? They say academic burnout can be defined as a negative emotional, physical, or mental reaction to prolonged study that results in exhaustion, frustration, lack of motivation, and reduced ability in school. It is a culmination of many weeks or months studying the same material or working on the same project or from continuous years of schooling. This is not to be confused with the occasional feeling of frustration when you have been studying for hours on end or tiredness from pulling an all nighter. It is rather more of a chronic condition from long term study or schoolwork. Um, right. So basically, this is something that happens over a long period of time. It's not something that can happen overnight. And it's when you start to kind of feel these like you're more frustrated and you're more tired and you just can't concentrate. And that is, symptoms of feeling burnt out. And yeah, no, it's pretty rough. Let's see. According to another one here, this is the Graduate Coach. It's a United Kingdom website. But basically, it says burnout is a state of chronic stress. So it's a stress kind of thing that can lead to individuals no longer being able to function effectively on a personal or professional level. People experiencing burnout may experience physical and emotional exhaustion, detachment, and feelings of cynicism and feelings of lack of accomplishment. Um, yeah. Oh, it actually says right here. So burnout is not something that happens overnight. It is not to be confused. Wait a minute. I'm starting to see something here. It is not to be confused with feeling tired due to pulling a few all-nighters on the run-up to a coursework deadline. Burnout creeps up on people over a prolonged period of time. Is it just me, or do those two articles seem very similar as to what academic burnout is? That's actually interesting. Wait, can I? What happens if I do this? The telltale sign. Oh, so this cites Psychology Today. Let's see where the other one got it from. It doesn't cite anything. Hmm. Interesting. I don't know. Plagiarism is like a thing, too. You gotta watch out for that. Um, not that I'm outing the source or anything, but yeah. Anyway, so the last article that I have here states that burnout is a state of mental, physical, or emotional exhaustion. Burnout in children happens when kids are faced with ongoing stress or frustration with no chance to relax and recharge. I like that definition, because it kind of addresses that the fact that you have no chance to relax and recharge, which is, it kind of highlights the importance of breaks like fall break, like even if it's just a couple of days. I mean, we only really get Monday and Tuesday off of next week, but like I think that's really important. And yeah, so it's just you got to be able to relax, you got to be able to recharge, and you have to be able to make time for yourself. It is so it is so difficult. Like everything that a college student specifically is expected to do, like this isn't easy. Um, Especially just coming out of high school, and I mean we all come from different places and have different experiences in high school. Some of us were on the grind in high school. Others, were probably just, oh, high school is such a breeze. And then they get hit with like actual like life work, and it's just like, oh man, this is tough. I'm starting to feel overwhelmed. And yeah, so based off those kind of, what do you call it, like articles, um I just kind of want to talk about my story. This is my story. um I'm so stupid. Yeah, all right. So I mean, my experience with burnout. So this happened to me in February of last year, 2020. And essentially, what had happened was, New Year's came around, and I was like, I'm gonna be on top of my resolutions, and I made a ton of resolutions, and I was just like, you know what, we're gonna do it, and I did do it for the first month of January. So there's a couple of things that I took on. First, I believe I said I was gonna start exercising more. Um, no wait, no, not 2020. Wait, no, this just happened this year. Wow, we're already in October. Wait a minute. I'm having like an epiphany here. Um, Time goes by so fast. It's actually not funny. Anyway, welcome to On My Mind, the podcast. Yeah, okay, so this happened this year in 2021, February. Yeah. Wow, that is insane. Okay, so in this year, I made a bunch of resolutions, 2021's gonna be my year. The cliche, kind of like what everyone says. Um, yeah, so I decided I wanted to kind of get a little jump start on computer science and just kind of like what is expected. So I went on Coursera as recommended by, I believe, my mentor at the time. I was in this e-mentorship program where essentially I had to meet with a mentor. I think I've talked about this before. I've had to meet with a mentor once a week, once a month. And it was entirely virtual. It was an e-mentorship, so everything was on Zoom. And I think I talked about this when I addressed the no Alienware question, so I had talked about this. Yeah, that was in the first episode where we just did a simple Q&A. Yeah, yeah. So my mentor recommended I do a Coursera course. Coursera course. Coursera. So Coursera is basically like, in case you guys don't know, it's a website that gives you some free online courses, and essentially they for a period of time. For example, it's kind of like taking an actual class, except everything is like pre-recorded lectures, and you have to kind of sometimes you have to join discussion boards, and you will have to turn in assignments, and it is a legitimate like note taking, like this is a class online. Um, yeah, so I it's completely asynchronous. Um, and a lot of it is like peer review work. And I decided to do the course of machine learning given by Stanford. Um, yeah, I don't know. It was, well, first of all, it was way above my level of experience and understanding of coding in general. And just I don't know, like it was intense. All these machine learning algorithms and stuff like that. Um, so so I decided to do that aside from my 6 classes of regular school, and that was entirely virtual as well. Um, and then I also decided to do Duolingo. I wanted to freshen up and keep my Spanish speaking skills, or not keep them sharp, but sharpen them up. Um, and I actually, I'm kind of proud of this actually. I'm still, let's see, I'm gonna pull up Duolingo. I am on a 249-day streak, which I'm proud. Oh, wait, if I do a lesson right now, I can hit 250. Should we do it? Will I get copyrighted if I do a lesson? um, you know what? Screw it. Which topic would you guys want to do? We can do childhood. We can do storybook. No, wait. Oh, I don't know if the Duolingo stories are copyrightable. I've gotten copyrighted by Taylor Swift before. It was a meme of like a goat screaming, but it had her music in it, so yeah. Anyway, you know what? This would be kind of interesting and like dumb, but let's do it. Okay, let's see we'll do the since then lesson. Oh my! If I get something wrong, I'm gonna get so embarrassed. All right, I'm gonna expose myself. Okay, so I have to translate the sentence. Creo que todos extrañamos a nuestros abuelos. Um, I think all of us miss our grandparents, right? I think we all miss our grandparents. Oh yeah.
Alejandro cocina sin parar desde la mañana.
This is so stupid. Um, Alejandro cocina sin parar. Has been cooking desde la mañana, since the morning.
Trabajo sin parar desde las 7 de la mañana.
So this is another one where you have to actually speak into the microphone, and it just tracks if you said it right. So trabajo sin parar desde las 7 de la mañana. Keep in mind, Spanish is like my native language, or not. How do I explain this? It's like my home language. Yeah.
Desde el comienzo de la película estamos llorando.
Oh, that's terrible. So it says since the beginning of the movie, we've been crying. That's the Duolingo sentences are actually so hilarious. Um,
Esa película italiana dura más de 2 horas.
so that Italian movie lasts more than 2 hours. That Italian movie lasts more than 2 horas. Sick.
Desde el comienzo de la clase presto atención.
Okay, so this is another speaking one. So, desde el comienzo de la clase, presto atención. Ooh,
¿Cuánto tiempo dura sin aire debajo del agua?
okay. How much time or how long can you last without air underwater? Yeah.
Ben y su novio están charlando desde las 6 en punto.
Charlando. I've never heard of this word, but I think it means like chat and stuff like that. So Ben and his boyfriend. Oh, they're also very progressive. You know, Ben and his boyfriend. Interesting. Um, yeah, it's pretty nice. What was I just saying? Ben and his boyfriend have been chatting since six. Yeah, the last six. Since 6 on the dot. Interesting.
Están jugando fútbol americano desde las 10 en punto.
So this one, I have to hear it, and then I have to tap what I hear. So I didn't hear what it said. What is it?
Están jugando fútbol americano desde las 10 en punto.
Están jugando
Jugando
fútbol
americano
americano desde las 10 en
10 en
punto.
punto.
Let's go. To last means durar. No, durar means to last. Oh, this one I have to match pairs. And is E. To miss is extrañar.
Extrañar.
I'm very extrañando mi novia. Boy means niño. To read means leer.
Leer.
And then por is for.
Desde el comienzo de mi viaje, extraño a mi familia.
So there's another speaking one. Desde el comienzo de mi viaje, extraño a mi familia. Damn. That one, since the beginning of my trip, I've been missing my family. Same. So these, estas, another matching one. To last, durar otra vez. He, él, books, libros, 80, 80.
80.
To miss is
Extrañar.
extrañar.
Desde el comienzo del partido, mi equipo juega mejor.
That's right. So this is another speaking one. Desde el comienzo del partido, mi equipo juega mejor. So since the beginning of the game, my team has been playing better. All right, these are the last couple ones. We've been playing at the beach nonstop since 7. Um, and then I had to translate that in Spanish. So, jugamos desde las siete. No, las siete. Siete. Desde las siete sin parar en la playa. Let's go. One more. I've been waiting for her since 8 on the dot. Estoy esperándola desde las 8 en punto. Good job. And we made it. Perfect lessons. Hey, I didn't get any wrong. Look at me. And now I got 15 experience from that. Let's go. I have a 250-day streak. Oh, that's so cool. Wait, I'm gonna screenshot that. That's an achievement right there. Oh, let's add. Yeah, I don't have Duolingo Premium or Pro or whatever it's called. Duolingo Plus. That's what it's called. Yeah, you don't need it, but it is very convenient. I did try out like the free trial or whatever. Yeah. Okay, wait. So profile. Claim reward. I earned 50 gems. That's how you get. Oh. So I'm trying to get the 365-day streak, and I'm at 250 days. I've missed a couple, but we have these things called streak freezes, so it's not like an actual 250-day streak. Because I've missed like a month of like lessons, in terms of days. But yeah, that was interesting. For you native Spanish speakers who like understood all of that, that's cool. For anyone else, I try to make it. I try to translate, but anyway, um, we were talking about burnout, and I was talking about my experience. So, how did we get here? What am I doing? Um, if you're still here, you're amazing. I hope you know that. Okay. Um, don't let anyone tell you different, by the way. Um, okay. So yeah, so I wanted to do Duolingo, and I have been. That's the one thing that I did keep up with. I also wanted to like exercise more. I think I said this. And I that didn't last at all. But ever since I got to Bowdoin, I've been going to the gym semi consistently. I maybe miss like once a week or twice a week. Um, but yeah, that I've actually a lot of progress. Not gonna lie, pretty proud of myself. Um, yeah. So I was gonna do that. What else was I gonna do? I think I was gonna. Oh, I totally forgot. But the point is, I made so many resolutions, and I was actually doing a pretty good job keeping up with everything. But by the end of the month, I was done. I like Coursera had I had fallen behind by like 3 weeks, on the schoolwork in February. Like I just did not do Coursera in February, um, and because I was like busy with actual school. I mean, I was taking six AP class. No, five. I was taking five AP classes at the same time. I took six in total though. I passed all of them except AP chemistry. I honestly gave up towards the end of that class. I was like, no, I got the A in the class, but I got a two on the exam. Um, anyway, yeah. So there was that. And then also, everything. We were in the middle of a pandemic, so like I was already kind of stressed out about just like school was my social life, and when you took that away, you literally took away my like I had no life really. Um, so like my life was literally just like I don't know, eat, go to sleep, do homework, record a podcast or something, maybe see my girlfriend occasionally, and just like watch Netflix. Like I was not doing anything. Um, yeah, my family would go on walks though sometimes after dinner. That was really nice. Uh, but yeah, so all that to say that I'm kind of in a similar situation now. Like I I've been in school for about a month now. And I'm not feeling burnt out for whatever reason. I feel like I'm stressing myself out with I'm not stressing myself out, but like I'm involved in a lot of things at the same time, and I've it's just all about sacrifices and priorities. You got to keep those in check. Um okay, so next conversation here, how to recover from burnout. First, I want to see what the things say. The articles, I mean. Oh, scroll doesn't work. This mouse sucks. I didn't say that. How to prevent. It's not what I'm looking for. Let me see if you know. Overcoming. Yep. Okay. So these are some things that actually I think it would be cool if I go through my. I'm gonna scroll up here. Okay. Or actually, I'll just look on the document again. All right, six. So I'm gonna kind of go through what I think, and then we'll see if the articles kind of match or differ from what I said. Okay, so how to recover from burnout. I think the most important thing is to understand that you're burnt out, and just like once you recognize it, it's a lot easier to be like, okay, I need to start letting go of some commitments. What's gone? For me, that was working out. For me, that was Coursera. Back then, now, I don't think I have to let anything go. I'm doing pretty good. And if I were to have to let things go, I think the first thing I would say bye to is ooh, that's a tough question. If I was feeling overwhelmed and I was forced to quit something, it would honestly be the podcast. This is a thing that gives me a lot of joy and pride, but I don't need it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I guess the next thing would probably be Ultimate Frisbee. And then after that, I mean, kind of just, I don't really have anything else after that. Yeah. But for now, we're safe. You know, the show will continue as long as I don't, you know, feel super overwhelmed. Um, yeah. Okay. So how to recover from burnout? I guess the first step is to really just recognize that you're burnt out, and then kind of strategize and like plan which commitments you can maybe let go. And or even some that you know maybe were really good for you in the beginning, but now maybe not so much, and you know they're not helping you as much. It's there's no point in maintaining it. You know what I mean? Um, and then I guess another way would be to keep yourself organized. And, you know, if you weren't using something to organize your life like a planner, use one, figure yourself out. Um, and fourth would be try in your planner, after you plan out your things, find stuff to do for yourself. And I think that's why I haven't burnt out yet because I've been kind of like this podcast is for myself. Um, like I dedicate my Saturday nights to my girlfriend, and that's just another thing that's great for me because she's amazing, and like it's always nice to kind of like catch up with her because we're both so busy throughout the week, and it's a lot. You get a lot better of a conversation than like just simple text throughout the day. Um, but yeah, and there's that. What else do I do for myself? I also play music, as you know, music is just so much fun. I mentioned this earlier, um, and music is a huge thing for me. So yeah, I love it. Um, what else? Oh wait. Oh, just kidding, just kidding. I saw like the storage thing. This episode is already 605 megabytes, and we've been going for about an hour. And I thought that was how much space we had left on the drive, and I was like, I freaked out for a moment. But then I saw to the right it says 282 gigabytes free, and I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, these files can get huge. Um, yeah, I need to invest in like actual storage because it's kind of crazy. Um, oh wait, I can. I'm not gonna do that to you. Anyway, uh, yeah, I have this room booked until 3:30, and it is 3:24, and we're nowhere near done this episode. I'm so tired too. I got like little sleep. I'm not gonna tell you why though. Um, and I mean, you don't feel offended. There's got to be a fine line between what's on my mind and like what's on my mind. There's this is a show. It is public on YouTube and like everything, and so there is a fine line between like privacy and like what I'm willing to share. And I'm willing to share quite a bit actually. It's just yeah, like I said, I love talking about myself. Um, I don't. That's a lie. I can't say I love talking to myself. Not talking to myself, talking about myself. Because it's like, I kind of stress myself out when I start talking about myself. I'm like, damn. Like, like if I'm talking about all the things I'm involved in, I'm just like, what are you doing to yourself? Or like if I say, oh yeah, I've been in a relationship for like a year now, and I'm just like, wait, when did that happen? Like everything is just going so fast. Um, yeah. Oh, but did I mention? I don't think I mentioned on the show, but me and Melanie hit our 1 year anniversary. Um, yeah, I'm so happy. That was me clapping. That's anyway. Um, oh boy, how do you recover from awkward silences? That should be my next episode. Um, yeah, I'm sorry. If you came here legitimately looking for, advice on like burnout and how to deal with it, like I'm getting there, but also this is a show where like I ramble and talk about so many different things. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, but also you're welcome. Anyway, um, so recovering from burnout, yeah, making time for yourself. I think that's what I was talking about last. Um, honestly, that's kind of it. If you haven't tried meditation or like yoga, it is actually so relaxing. I've tried it, and I actively practiced it like well, a couple years ago. I haven't done it in a while, but I found that it was incredibly helpful for me to kind of keep myself grounded and just like focus. Like I would have days. I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, but I would have days where um, I'd go to school at 7 in the morning, and then I wouldn't leave school until 10 p.m. Let me just tell you, when you have school for that long, it's terrible. And this is the thing, cause like my dad, he like he works a job, right, and he has a set time that he works, and he gets paid. Um, so it's like he works, from like this time to this time. But the thing with school is that it's like there is no set time. Like sure you have your class time where it's like you go to school at like I don't know like 8 and then you're out at 3. Um and and it's just intense because then aside from that you get homework and and so that adds like another couple of hours, and then aside from that if you got exams coming up you gotta study, and so there's that. But if you're involved in like activities at school, then you also got to focus on that. So it's just like in reality, school is just like 99% of your day, honestly. Um, and it's just like it's intense. Um, And so like I've had like talks like that with my dad where it's just like, or he'll ask me like, why are you so tired? Like you don't do anything. All you do is school. And I'm like, yeah, all I do is school. That's why I'm so tired. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, so it's just like I find that really weird and like crazy to think about. Like that's what I was trying to say earlier when I was saying that colleges, like I thought it was kind of bad in high school, but colleges they expect so much out of their students. Um, but on the flip side, I feel like there are so many more resources that are available to you to make your experience more enjoyable. And so it's really important for you to take advantage of those. Like later in about an hour, and something I'm gonna go bowling with friends. Um, and that'll be fun. It's like a group event. Pretty excited for it. Um, yeah. Ooh. Yeah. So it's just like you gotta find a really good group of friends who genuinely care about you and who will genuinely call you out if you know you're like Michael, you're overwhelming yourself. You gotta calm down. You gotta keep it, you know, less stress inducing. Cause stress and me have a weird relationship where it's like I can handle stress very well. Um, I don't know what it is. I think it's just the fact that I've been pushing myself so hard since maybe like sophomore year. And so it's got, I mean, like I said, I took five AP classes just because I was like, yeah, I could do that. And then I did it successfully and I got all A's. Granted, I feel like the year was a lot easier due to it being online. But also, it was pretty hard because it was online. So it's very complicated. Um, but I guess like the general point is that you have to. I think what made it possible was the people who I surrounded myself with. So whenever you're recovering from burnout, it is important to reach out to those who care about you and to those who you care about because they're the ones who will help you the most and they're the ones who help me the most. Um, yeah, like if you can't name that person, trust me, there is someone out there. Um, I'll be that guy for you. I'll watch out for you, even if I don't know you. I'm here. You can listen. You can rely on me in this 1 hour of madness. Actually, now we're in like 8 minutes now. You can rely on me. I'll be here for you. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. Um, and if you're scared that like you're really dealing with too much, it's probably a good indicator that like maybe you are doing a little bit too much. So it's just also important to watch out for those signs. Like if your body is literally telling you, "I can't handle anymore. Please go to sleep." It's sometimes important to stop resisting and to just let go and let yourself fall asleep. Um, because overall, like getting sleep is just so beneficial for your health. I haven't been doing a great job of that. Mostly because I am involved in so many things, and eventually, it's gonna catch up to me. It actually hits me a lot during the weekends. I sleep in so late, like I'm waking up at noon. Um, it's terrible. But I mean, it's okay. I'm okay with it though because I do make up a lot of the sleep that I lose throughout the week. Like on average, maybe I'm getting like 4 to 6 hours of sleep. Nothing more than six for sure. Actually, I think it was Tuesday. No, it was Wednesday. No, wait, Thursday. Was it yesterday? No, no, it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday. This past Wednesday, I got done with my homework at like, when was it? I was almost done with it to the point where I only needed to watch a video and answer some questions, and it was only 4:30. And then I went to frisbee practice, and I stayed there the whole time because I could. And then when I got back, I did my homework after dinner, and then I was done by like 7. And it was amazing. It was so amazing. Because then I had the rest of the day to do my work. I mean, not do my work. No, to not do any work. Like it was literally just relax, and I was like, yes. I was so proud of myself that day. And so you have to celebrate the small victories when you're recovering from burnout. Um, the days where it's like I did so much today, and it's amazing. I feel amazing. So yeah, um, I guess if I can recount everything I just said, surround yourself with great people who care about you. Get some sleep. Acknowledge that you have burnout and try to find anything that you can kind of leave or like drop out of your life, just so that you're not as busy. And then keep yourself organized, and meditation and yoga can go a long way. Um, yeah, okay, that's about 5 things. All right, let's see what academic burnout graduate coach has to say about it. So, if I go here, overcoming academic burnout. 1, make a list of all the things that are causing you to feel stressed, anxious, or worried. Huh. And then match that with the resolution. So, for example, stressor, you have fallen behind in a class, resolution, book an appointment with a professor, or go to office hours to get some help. That's that's not what the that's not what the article said, but I kind of changed it to make it more relevant. It actually says you've fallen behind in a module. What? I mean, this is from the UK, so I don't know if that makes a difference or if a module is like more for like work stuff. I don't know. Um, no, yeah, it is talking about school. So I guess module is like a class or a course. Interesting. Okay, number 2, say no. University life can be difficult. You essentially need to balance your social life with your academics. That is for sure. Um, you may need to turn down friends and flatmates. 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 Oh, they have flatmates. They don't have roommates, or they call them flatmates. That's this is actually so much fun to read. Yeah. So turn down friends and flatmates or roommates inviting you to nights out. I've done that too many times to the point where like they low key stopped inviting me, but it's okay. Anyway, take some time. Take some time. I'm fine. I swear. No hard feelings. So take some time off your part time job. Temporarily skip some of your extra activities, your extracurricular. I've done that where I was just like, I'm not going to frisbee practice because I can't. I just have too much work to do, or like I'm gonna miss the gym because I'm overwhelmed with work and I gotta get this done. Um, you gotta understand your priorities. Yeah, get help from your support system. Yes. See, I'm kind of smart. Take breaks. Oh, I don't know how to take breaks. I tend to like push my ceiling very high to the point where like I can't see it anymore. Um, and so like I wouldn't be able to see it even if it came crashing on my head. Um, like I just don't know when to take a break and when to like just say, you know what, I'm done. So a lot of the things that it says is like um, use the Pomodoro technique, which is actually a really popular technique where it's like you do homework for a set amount of time, and your goal is not to finish something. Your goal is to just do work for the entire time. And so let's say you do homework for like 50 minutes and you just tackle reading, you tackle a lab assignment, you tackle a problem set, anything it could be. And then when those 50 minutes are done, you stop. No matter what you're doing, you finish like that last sentence and you're just done. And then you take a 25-minute break or a 20-minute break or however long of a break you want. And then when that break is over, you have to be really strict on yourself and you have to get right back into work. And it kind of helps you practice being able to kind of switch gears, like relax and like activate. Um, yeah, another thing is apply the spaced repetition method when you study. So it's just like, Quizlet does a pretty good job of that. Duolingo does a really good job of that. Um, and stuff like that, where it's just like you take things little by little and you repeat yourself over time to maintain long term memory. Um, yeah, psychology, that's so cool. Schedule time in your calendar to relax and pursue activities that help you to relax. So that's kind of like what I was saying. Or keep yourself organized and then kind of find things that you can drop or just find little free time where you can just, you know, do some more fun stuff. Aim to go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. Oh, that's actually a really good one. Yeah, no, I'm so inconsistent. Um, yeah, try to get some fresh air every day. Going on walks may help you to de stress. That is true. Walks are so nice, especially with someone you like or care about, um, or it's just someone you're close to. Socialize with others outside of uni. Oh, I sound so British. It's not even funny. Yeah, socializing with students can be a bit overwhelming when everyone is in the same boat. So, talk to people outside, like your school network. Um, Study smart, not hard. Reinforce effort, not outcome. Oh, I like that one. If you're determined to get a first class degree classification, what? I think that means an A. No, 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 just kidding. Getting a first class degree requires consistently achieving high grades, which can be demanding. Maybe it's an A. Like a first class degree is kind of like an A grade, and you have to like get high grades on assignments to maintain an A. I don't know. But the point is, focus on the effort you put in, not your outcome. Set up a study group. That is huge. Um, yeah. Take good care of yourself, of course, mentally, physically. I mean, I feel like a lot of people have been advocating for self care for like much more than back then. Um, Now I'm talking about like back then, like our parents. If you're a college student, now, yeah. No, but really, take care of yourself. Like I said, like the meditation is both physical and mental, so it's like a nice, like mix of both worlds. Um, yeah. Rediscover your passion for the subject you are studying. Oh, that's tough. Like if you, let's say me, for example, I'm doing computer science and then I have to do a project and I'm just like, this sucks. I don't like doing this. This is terrible. Um, then I kind of have to like find why I decided to do this in the first place. And like, that's asking a lot. That's actually interesting. Okay. I'll see how I can implement that. I feel like I need more time to think about an answer. Um, yeah. So recovering from academic burnout will not be overnight. You may need several weeks to de-stress and feel less overwhelmed. I think that's a really good point. You got to be able to, understand that like as just like how this academic burnout came up on you gradually over time, it's gonna go away gradually over time the same way. And you can do all these things and it won't happen right away. You just have to be patient. And patience really is a key trait to have. Um, it's nice. I was able to get a lot of patience from just having a huge family and being the oldest sibling in the household um, makes it so that yeah you gotta be really patient. Um, yeah, and also like good things do come to those that wait, and it unfortunately good things also happen to bad people who don't wait. But I don't know. I just feel like it's more rewarding. But yeah, let me see. So ways to avoid it. Make time for like enjoyable activities. Get plenty of physical exercise and get outside. Make time for social activities. Develop good relationships with professors. Set reasonable goals. avoid procrastination, get better at time management, take a step back, and have a work life balance. That is a lot. Okay, so let's break this down. So make time for enjoyable activities. Um, it's like me, what I'm doing. I'm making time for enjoyable podcasting. Uh, is it enjoyable for you? Hopefully, but it definitely is for me. Also, by the way, I'm learning this with you guys. As much as I'm teaching you guys, it's kind of like a reaction kind of thing. Has this become a reaction podcast? That'd be pretty cool. Um, get plenty of physical exercise. I've been doing this, going to the gym, playing ultimate frisbee. Um, I feel like it's nice to kind of, sweat and just like feel sore, and then you're just yesterday, I pushed myself pretty hard at the gym today, and I'm like, yesterday I pushed myself at the gym today. That makes sense. Um, you know what I mean. And I woke up so sore. Oh, especially my shoulders are killing me. Um, yeah, my back. No, not my back. No, it's mostly my shoulders. Um, yeah, I don't know if I slept wrong or if like I was just really sore, but I definitely have like got in plenty of physical exercise. Get outside. I do that a lot too. Especially here at Bowdoin, it's actually pretty nice to go outside, as long as it's not too cold or anything. Um, make time for social activities. I guess a lot of these sometimes overlap, so I guess that just goes to show is that like joining one thing can kind of and it could just be so beneficial for you. Um, yeah. So develop good relationships with professors. I think that just makes it so that you don't feel as disconnected and stuff when you go to class, and it's not as boring. Because I mean, if you have a good like if everyone in the class had a good relationship with the professor, they can like the professor can be more open to like being funny and like relaxed and like having more fun with the class when like you get to know them on a personal level. I feel like that definitely happened over the summer when I was in GCS, and you know doing that class with Dr. Purnell. It's really fun when like he knew us. Um, yeah. Avoid procrast. No, set reasonable goals. Yeah, this just kind of calls back to the planner thing. It is your lifesaver. It will be your best friend. Um, really. Yeah, and then avoid procrastination. This is so hard to do. I'm gonna keep it real. I struggle with procrastination so much, but I have that mentality where it's like if I feel like I'm talking too loud because I'm in the library, and like I said, this room isn't soundproof, so I'm pretty sure everyone can hear everything I'm saying. I don't see anyone outside. That's actually I didn't even think I felt like I was talking so loud. Um. Anyway, um, procrastination. Nah, it's terrible. Um, because I've always had that mentality where it's like, even if I don't get started now and I wait it till the last minute, like I still get it done anyway. But then I sacrifice a lot of things like free time, hanging out with friends, sleep is the big one, stuff like that. So it's just not worth it. But I always find myself doing it anyway. I feel like this is something everyone struggles with. And it's just like if you are someone who feels like you have totally eliminated procrastination in your life, please reach out to me and I will gladly have you on the show and you can share your wisdom and experience because that would be really cool. Okay, the odds of finding someone. One, this episode is called How to Deal with Burnout. Two, I'm a podcast that only gets like 10 views per episode. And three, I wanted to have a three just to make it, solid and like structured, but I don't have three. Yeah, I'm starting to get really like out of it, out of nowhere. Am I burnt out? Anyway, um, yeah. So avoiding procrastination, that's like a really hard one. That's just up to like you and having self discipline and just like taking priority. It's assignments before fun. You know, get better at time management. I think those two tips go hand in hand. Um, Time management, again, using a planner, um, making sure your priorities are in check. Yeah, take a step back is the next one. It's where you just, you know, look and you're just like, am I doing what I want to be doing? Like maybe you're burnt out because you're just not enjoying it, you know? And like this isn't for you. And you might have to try to explore something new. And I feel like one of the cool things about going to a liberal arts college, not me promoting Bowdoin, but like, is the fact that you are given that opportunity to do so in the first 2 years of your education here, or any liberal arts college you might go to. But with universities, it's like I feel like they're more structured so that you have to pursue the education you intended for. I mean, the major you intended for. But yeah, like I've heard stories or accounts of like students who were like going in as, I don't know, government majors, and then they end up being something completely different and stuff like that just because they realized, you know what, this ain't for me. So yeah, it's important to kind of like take a step back and just reflect on life. You know, those nice 3 a.m. conversations with yourself. And then work life balance is the goal. You want to be able to balance everything in your life between family and homework and study time and friends. Sometimes it helps to combine both of them. You know, make a study group with friends. That way, your social hour also becomes productive. But also be productive. Don't just focus on social. It's so much. It is so much. Like the fact that when I searched up, okay, check this out. So if I search up academic burnout, um, Google gives me 32 million responses in 0.48 seconds. Have you guys ever noticed that? Like it says it, and it always says it, but we all just kind of take that for granted. That's actually pretty amazing. And like, no one ever goes off of page one. Like, if you don't find it on page one, we refine our search instead of going on a page two. Page two just doesn't exist on Google. Um, Wait, did they still have the thing at the bottom where it's just like Google? Yeah, it's just Google. Yeah, Google. All right, and then if you search up um, mental health issues in students, you get so many articles, so many. You actually get some like studies too, like scholarly articles. Um, yeah, and then if you look up like things or stress in students, again, you get so many results. It's a thing that has always existed. Um, oh God, if you search up stress in students and you look up the images on Google Images, they're just so depressing. Yeah. Like there's a picture, like everyone has their hands in their heads in their hands. I mean, um, it's terrible. Biting the nails, just totally work everywhere. It's kind of crazy. Um, so I guess the whole point of this episode is really just for me to kind of advocate taking care of yourself, and really just understanding that you need to take breaks. Michael, of all people, really, I don't know how to take breaks. Um, yeah, man, it's tough. Life or school life, that's what I mean, is gonna be very hard, and finding that work life balance is very intense, and it's something that you have to really practice and understand, before you can have it established. Um, but I mean, it's possible, and we can all definitely get there. And I think the best way to do that is to avoid burnout, and just when you are burnt out, understand why and make changes in your life based off of that. So yeah, um, I think that's a good spot to wrap this episode up. thank you guys so much for listening. Next week we may have a guest on the show. I have no idea. I haven't reached out to anyone yet. Um, yeah, so that episode comes out next Saturday. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And with that being said, I'm so tired. Oh, stretching is so satisfying. Anyway, with that, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and fall break for those of you at Bowden. And with that being said, this has been on my mind. I'll see you guys next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye.